I built this Minecraft skyscraper using real structural engineering. Why would you do that? Minecraft has no gravity. Because I'm an upper year engineering undergrad student and I have nothing better to do. Aside from my assignments, I guess. In this video, I'm going to take you step by step through the design process of not only how to build a Minecraft skyscraper, but also how architects and structural engineers approach designing skyscrapers in the real world. Today, I'm building on the Cube community server, a free Java server for 1.14. Excuse me, who are you? Me? Oh, I'm just a Minecraft server admin and I can see your IP address just like every other Minecraft server you join. Ha, no you can't, because I'm using Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is the sponsor of today's video and is a tool to keep you safe online and currently has more than 6 million users worldwide. Okay, but what does a VPN do? A VPN, or virtual private network, makes all of your internet traffic travel through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it protects you from spying, public Wi-Fi dangers, and hides your IP address and your online activities. Enjoy blazing speeds. Get comfy to stream your favorite show or upgrade your gaming experience at lightning fast speed. Protect unlimited devices. Atlas VPN protects all your devices with a single subscription. This means that you can keep every Minecraft server admin's prying eyes away on all of your devices. This is more than just a VPN. It blocks all malicious links, ads, and trackers, and notifies you when someone is trying to steal your data. Save some coins while shopping online. Get the best deals while shopping online, including online subscriptions, airlines, hotels, and more. Do you really want this guy knowing where you live? I didn't think so. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount, which means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guaranteed. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below. Alright, so today we're building in the city of Andia on Cubed Community, and we have one of our curators here, and he has been working on this area which is meant for a pharmaceutical complex. So there's a whole bunch of buildings around this area built by various people on the Andia team, and I was asked to build the centerpiece for this area. The red zone that you see on the screen here is meant for the entire tower complex, and he wants it to be 2 buildings. So he wants it to be a tower and an extended base attached to it. So I'm gonna go with a white color theme, and I might add some gray later just to match some of the other buildings around it. If we take a look around the pharmaceutical area, we can see that there's a lot of diagonals at play, so I think I'm going to play off that in my design. There's also this underground parking lot that I want to connect it to. Alright, so let's get going on this architectural design. So I want to work with some sharp angles, which it's pretty hard to do, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a regular rectangular tower, and then I'm actually going to add a shell on top of it that has this complex design on it. We talked a little bit about this in my last video if you want to check that out. So since this is the centerpiece of the pharmaceutical area, I want to draw the eye to the building and not only to it, but upwards. So we're going to use a stepped pattern of zigzags going up the side, kind of bouncing back and forth. So I want the zigzag pattern to be relatively uniform and still have a bit of structure to it so it doesn't look all weird. So I'm going to make sure that they're all parallel. So same thing for the top section here. I want to make sure that the very top is parallel to the angled lines on the side. I'm going to put a line on the screen right now, and this is roughly where the roof level is going to be. So the reason we're putting it down a little bit is so that we can use this angled section as a parapet so you don't have to stare at all the HVAC equipment on the roof. Okay, I think it looks pretty good so far, but at the bottom I feel like it's missing something. So I want to add this artsy looking triangle thing at the bottom. So actually let's make it 2 triangles that are stuck together, and then I'm going to cut out another triangle from right here. And you can see that these 2 lines line up. Alright, now that we have our shell design on the exterior, we are going to add some rough columns and floors, just to give it a little bit of scale. Okay, so the wider side of the tower looks good, so let's work on the more narrow side. So I don't want to overdo it with the diagonals, I want to keep it relatively simple. Let's go for a more boxy design, and we're going to have some columns that extend outwards as they go up, and they're going to connect to the top section on the roof. I know you can't really see it in the drawing right now, but it's going to make more sense at the end of the video. Alright, now that we have the tower all done, let's do a very rough plan for the base. So I want to have these nice big windows on the river side, which also happens to be the south side, and you're going to get lots of sunlight this way. Right inside these big windows, I want to have a giant conference room, and it's going to have double floor openings. You're going to have lots of angles on the bottom and lots of big skylights all over the place just for a lot of natural light. Alright, let's jump into the structural design. So the main components that we will be using are columns, girders, and joists. Joists are the smaller beams that transfer loads to the girders. Girders are the larger beams that take the loads from the joists and transfer it to the columns. Columns are the vertical things that take the loads from the girders and transfer it down all the way to the foundation. So you got your safety nets right there, and then you have all that red stuff up there, and that red thing way at the top, that's the arm that kind of goes around and pours the concrete, because you pump it all the way from the bottom, and it gets pumped up to the top, and then you use that to kind of put it wherever you need it. You see they're starting to get the facade there on the first couple of floors, so they're slowly working their way up, but they haven't topped out yet either. So usually you'll see it so that towers, they won't be completely topped out for the structural part, but then on the bottom they'll start putting the facade just to save a little bit of time. For skyscrapers, I typically build a foundation, but since we already have a parking garage, I'm going to skip it, and here's just what the parking garage looks like. All right, so we have that tower here, and then if we come over this way, you can see that they're digging out another foundation for another tower to put in. So you can see that they have all the wood over there just to kind of hold the terrain back there, and they're just digging this all out here. All right, let's look at the plan view. Now we're going to design the structural systems that we're going to use for each floor. We are going to use what is called a structural grid. This is extremely common in the architectural and structural design of buildings. I'm going to place a bunch of dots, and then I'm going to add lines as well. So wherever these lines intersect, that's where you place your columns. I'm going to have a shear wall in the middle with 4 elevators and 2 staircases. In real life, you would also have a mechanical and electrical shaft, but I'm just ignoring it for this video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, a shear wall is a concrete wall that basically just holds the tower together and has all the important stuff inside. And by important stuff, I mean elevators and staircases. Any questions? No? Wait. What? Shouldn't we know how beams work first? Wow, what a great and convenient question. This is a ruler. This is a fixed support. There are 3 main types of supports: fixed, pins, and rollers. Fixed can't move. Pins can't move side to side or up and down, but they are allowed to rotate. Rollers can move along the surface that they're placed on, and they can rotate. Wait, why would you ever want to use anything aside from fixed? Why would you want it to move? Whoa, hold your mooses there, buddy. I'm getting to that. Hello, I would like to order 1 skyscraper. Sure, that'll be, let's see here, $5. Whoa. You think I'm made out of money? I'm sorry, sir, but that's the cost. Is there any chance you can make it any cheaper? Like, I have some old truck tires that you can melt down and maybe use them. Yeah, no. How about this? I'll go ask the manager. Hey, is there any way we could make a skyscraper cheaper? I mean, you can just use concrete. What? No, that's a horrible idea. Haven't you heard? Concrete is really strong in compression, but about 10 times weaker in tension. Wait, but shouldn't all the concrete in the tower be in compression anyway? How could it possibly be in tension? That's a great question. Let's say you have this concrete beam here. If you add a load to this beam will ever so slightly deflect down. You can observe that the top of the beam is being pushed together while the bottom of the beam is being pulled apart. You can also infer that there's this one line that goes through the middle where it is neither being compressed or pulled apart. This is what we like to refer to as the neutral axis. The top of the beam is in compression while the bottom is in tension. So to answer the question, yes, there is concrete in tension within your structure. So no, you cannot use only concrete to build a skyscraper. Wait, what about steel? I know that steel is really strong in tension and compression and has a really high yielding stress. Why don't we just make an all steel skyscraper? I mean, yeah, you could, but steel is significantly more expensive than concrete, so it's unlikely that a developer would be willing to shell out the money. So what's the solution? Well, you have to compromise. And this compromise is called reinforced concrete. This is just concrete that has been reinforced with steel rebar inside it. Let's go back to our example with our concrete beam. Since the bottom is in tension, we need to add steel rebar on the bottom half of the beam. So how does this relate to using pins and rollers compared to fixed supports? Well, in our example, we used a pin and a roller, which allowed the ends of the beam to rotate. But if we have it fixed at both ends, we now also have to deal with tension at the top at the ends too. So we would need to add some rebar there. Next time you're under a bridge for whatever reason, just take a look at the supports. Boo! Get to the building part! Nice. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy the architectural design. Don't go anywhere yet because we have a tour coming up at the end of the video. All right, so welcome to the tower, and now we're actually going to explore around the outside and some of the inside too. So over here we have this area. So this actually goes down, and this is just an underground parking garage here. So I did not make this. This was part of the plot. So I believe this was made by Odawn. So you have all this stuff here and all these pillars here. So I tried to incorporate some of these pillars into the design. But obviously it's kind of tough to do because this is on an angle, and then building skyscrapers on an angle is incredibly hard. Okay, so let's fly up here. I love these cool shots, especially with the rays of sun coming in here. I'm using BSL shaders, so that's why it looks so pretty. So yeah, landscaping isn't done yet. I'm getting somebody else to do the landscaping around here because they wanted to. Yeah, so we have the actual tower, and then we have this kind of base thing down here. I didn't really know what I was doing here, so I just kind of added some gravel, and then this is clay here because you have a line here, and then it goes over here, and it just looks like it should continue, and I felt it was kind of awkward just having it pushed back there all with gravel, so I just kind of did that. Yeah, so fly around on the river here. So again, I talked about this earlier, but I wanted to have this conference center here, and I wanted to have as much windows as possible because this way is facing south, so you're always going to get a lot of sunlight because India is fictionally in the northern hemisphere. So then your sunlight is going to kind of arc across this way, and it's not going to be on that side at all. And then you get all these river views, and then across here there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff here. I'm thinking about maybe making a hockey arena over here. I'm not sure, but that's something for the future. All right, so I just kind of made this design down here. I don't really know what I was doing with it. I just kind of felt like it needed something because I didn't want glass coming down here and then back out here. So you can see that I kind of brought that up that way, kind of on an angle going backwards. And then once you get to the windows here on this floor level for this big open spot, it just kind of goes back up here. And then I have these kind of vertical fins here too, just to kind of draw the eye upwards. Right, so let's fly around this side. We have some of these windows here just because I felt it was a little bland. Oh yeah, big thing here. This is not done, not even close, because this floor here, there's actually no way to get up to it yet. So I have stairs coming up here to this one, and then I realized earlier today when I was flying around that I didn't actually put a way to get up here. So this kind of extension here, it is kind of messy at the moment, and you can probably tell that I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit, kind of play with the angles, and then see if I can make it work a little bit better than it is right now. So one thing I wanted to incorporate into this design, especially this extension here, was the use of glass ceilings, because I love glass ceilings, especially when you get shaders like this and you can see all this. See, who doesn't think this looks good? Like seriously, this is awesome. Like over here too. So I have this kind of, actually, okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So you start here, you have all this nice sunlight coming in, and then you have this kind of bridge that goes over here that connects to this other spot up here. Oh, I guess there is a way to get in here. Oh, I did plan it. Okay. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, so there is a way to get in. I think I might add another one because I'm going to need more emergency stairs and staircases. There's a lot of work that has to be done here, but sorry, I'm getting off track. So lots of sunlight. You go up here just to give it a little bit of separation between that area and this area. And then you come into this main area, which is actually the front entrance coming in from here. And then you have a bunch more sunlight here, right? So then you have your tower, and then these support columns actually line up with the structural grid of the tower, which I will show you in a couple minutes. But yeah, so you have the beams across here, all your columns here connecting, and then it just goes down. All right, so over there, those are some washrooms that I haven't filled in yet. This is kind of a spot that I wanted to connect to the underground parking, and I just added this over top just so that when you're walking, you don't get drenched in rain. I'll show you here real quick. So this is obviously not done. I'm not sure what I'm going to put down here yet. It looks a little bit spooky, so I might, well, not might. I'm going to add windows over here, and then I'll make it look a lot prettier, and obviously add quite a bit of lights. Because this is a lot nicer because you have all these skylights and different elevation changes here. Elevation changes within a building, I guess. Ceiling height changes, I guess that's what they're called. Right, so you come up here, and then it kind of weaves in and out here. So it doesn't feel like you're completely left in the dark. So if you go here, you have all these skylights and big windows back in the dark, but then, oh look, there's other big windows and then these other kind of open spots on the ceiling here. And then lots of open walls here so that you have sort of this weird looking balcony thing. Just makes it nice and open. Feels a lot more airy and refreshing, I guess. But yeah, so let's actually go up into the tower now. So kind of a different perspective than some of the other shots that I've shown, but this is what it would look like if you are working here and you're just walking through the lobby. So let's go up here. We can see we have our stairwell B. And then if we go all the way over here, so we're in the middle of our shear wall right now. And then over here you have stairwell A. And I just have these redstone torches just to give it a little bit of ambient light because I don't want it to be super bright or anything. I think it's okay like that. And then down here, this is going to keep going down as we need it to. Okay, so nice open floor plan. You have the lights along where the beams are. Usually offices don't do this, but I didn't really know where else to put them, so I just stuck them there. And then if you want, you could add partition walls just right here. So partition walls, those are just non-load bearing walls. All right, so let's go back in here. So this is one side of your shear wall, and then this is the other, and then we can have beams connecting it in the floor here, and then in the middle here as well. So this is a technique that I typically use when I'm building elevators, because I don't want to have all of the elevators open. I like to give it a little bit more realism, so I'll block off all but one. So those are blocked off, and those are blocked off. And you know, you have your button here, which turns into a mouse. And you leave this one open, and then you just add trapdoors here. So it just looks like that these doors are open. And then when you're exploring, you can just go in here and fly up as much as you want. Okay, so let's stop here. So all the floors look identical. And once you get clients in here, so in this case, it would be the pharmaceutical plants, then they can decide where they want the partition walls, and then you can put them in from there. Right, so if we come over to the south window here, there you go, you can look down. Yes, there's a gap here. I'm fully aware of this, but I didn't want to add a full block here. Otherwise, it would ruin the consistency of the window design. So I just decided to leave it. Again, we're working in the 3-block increments. Even though, oh, I guess it doesn't matter on this side, but so it's more on this side here. Oh, but these ones are full blocks anyway. Oh, okay. I guess I was thinking ahead and I didn't even realize it. All right, so that's every floor. That's what every single floor looks like. I mean, it's not super exciting. But I will fly all the way up here, and then I'll take the stairs here, and then we'll go out on the rooftop here. So you're first greeted by a lot of greenery here, just because I think greenery is important. All right, so a little trick with using greenery here. So everything you see in this shot right now is green, aside from the wall, obviously. So this is a technique that I like to use. So you have grass, you have ferns, you have your bushes, and then you have your tall ferns, stuff like that. Don't overdo it. Probably take like 3, 4, 5, maybe just like green things and put them on grass or whatever else you want. And then for your splash of color, pick 1 or 2 other ones, and then you can just kind of place them throughout. So I like to use purple. If you want to use 2 of them, make sure that the colors actually work well together, because if you have 2 colors and they just clash and it looks weird, especially when you're trying to mix it with green. If you try to do too much, then it overdoes it, and then it just doesn't look good. So just be careful with it. And if you're a beginner or you just don't want to deal with it like me most of the time, then just do something like this. All right, so up here we have our elevator overrun. So right below here are 2 elevators, and then over here as well. And then these right here, so this one And this, it's the top of your stairs, but in architectural terms, it's called the overrun. So this is a stair overrun, and this is an elevator overrun. All right, then you have your HVAC back here, so just your fans. HVAC systems are complicated, and I don't really know how they work. I know how they work a little bit, but not enough to the extent of being able to plan them. So usually if you just have a handful of fans, just kind of connect them there, you know, stick some buttons, stick some iron trapdoors on there. I think it looks pretty good. Over here, I put some solar panels. So this is just a design that I stole from someone at some point, so I cannot take credit for it. And down here, this thing, it's kind of this weird looking bathtub thing. But what I was trying to do here is, this is sort of the thing that the window washers, the workers will sit in while it goes down the side of the building. And then these things up here, these arms will move, and then this will go down here and grab onto that. I'm not sure where, because this is an even number of blocks, which I just noticed. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the other side. And then if you need that to attach in one spot, well, you can't really do that, because if you attach it here, then it's going to be too heavy on this side. Anyway, okay, that doesn't matter. I'm kind of overthinking things, but that's okay. So this thing here, you have your arm that can go, it can pick it up, it can raise and lower it, and then it sticks out over the side, and then it lowers them down. So a problem that I encountered was, okay, well, I can do that on one side if it's fixed, but then that arm's not going to be long enough to fit all the way around. So I decided, hey, you know what, let's put a little track here. Warning, I have no idea if this is actually used. This probably is not realistic, but I just thought it was kind of funny to have a little racetrack for it. So if I was operating this thing and nobody was watching, I would probably just drive it around in circles, because that sounds pretty fun, you know, driving on a racetrack at the top of a skyscraper. It's not dangerous or anything, it's fine. You don't need to call OSHA, that's okay. You know, I have these cool designs up here, which I was talking about earlier, and then I added this glowstone here, going down like that way, just so it looks cool at night. Actually, let's try it out. If I set my personal time to midnight, yeah, there we go, look at that. Yeah, so it kind of glows here. I don't have my render distance up too high, otherwise I lag out quite a bit. So I can't go too far back, but I think that looks pretty cool. Don't mind the floating stuff, that's a work in progress. That's not mine. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. You have all the lights, you have the lights in the middle of the shear wall, and then you have the lights at the very top. The base is a little bit messy, but I'll slowly clean that up over the course of the next few months. Alright, that's it for this video. Psst, hey you! You should click the link in the description, because right now Atlas VPN is running a huge discount, which means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below. Yo, this customer service sucks.